Americans live in rural America, yet rural hospitals continue to close. One analysis by the Chartis Center for Rural Health found 1 in 4 rural hospitals are at risk of closing. Chloe Nordquist met with a company that's looking to change that trend.
We see it across America, rural hospitals closing their doors for one reason or another. Yet after years of being abandoned, this hospital is being rebuilt from the ground up, and it's not the only one. Fresh paint on the walls, new equipment and wiring, this hospital in Western Tennessee is ready to provide care again.
Our first phase, what we're doing is opening the emergency department, the first 9 medical surgical beds, and then pharmacy and imaging.
I don't want to come back in phase 2 and be working in the corridors.
Over the past couple years, Kyle Kopech and the rest of the team at Braden Health have worked to reopen this once abandoned hospital.
We're moving 9 or so truckloads of wiring from at least this building.
It involved removing mold, bringing things up to code.
The roof was damaged, there was roof leaks everywhere throughout the building.
These images show what the facility looked like before the remodel. It sat empty for nearly 8 years.
We spent about $10 million or so to rebuild it.
Despite all the construction and work, there's still more to do.
This used to be the surgical wing. It was last used in the 70s, with the exception, I think, since then they filmed a few horror movies in here. It really looks a lot just like most rural hospitals we find that are closed and abandoned. They look like this.
Research out of the University of North Carolina shows 139 rural hospitals have closed since 2010.
There's need, it's unmet, and we know how to help.
How are you able to buy these places up and put these millions of dollars into these facilities to reopen them?
So I always joke we don't exactly have a secret sauce, but we just sort of do the right thing.
Michael Banks, now the hospital's CEO, watched as the former hospital here shut down in 2014.
Financially, it hit us. We also saw a decline in the overall health of the community as well.
I've lived here all my life. We just thought this is done. We won't have rural health care, acute health care in our community ever again. Having this hospital back is life-changing.
It's a narrative seen all too often in rural communities that lose access to nearby health care.
Your lower economic rural areas have really, been affected disproportionately.
This is one of a handful of hospitals Braden Health has bought and rebuilt. They take profits from their other hospitals to help buy and rebuild more. Are you one of the only companies doing this, or are you seeing a growing trend in health systems buying up rural hospitals to do a similar thing?
Yeah, right now you see a little bit of a trend in its process. We're here to help, and as we open facilities, we're hopeful to win community support back, but it will take time.
The team hopes the space will be somewhere the community can trust, with some of the same staples like these handprint tiles the locals have come to recognize.
We know there's hundreds of hospitals and thousands of communities that are in need. We're going to look at the hospitals that are closing and see where we can help.
In Brownsville, Tennessee, I'm Chloe Nordquist reporting.